Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the effects parts himself. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
Stick me on your feet.
Why the feet?
Right. Okay.
What is it with feet? All the time when I'm watching VTubers and stuff, it's always feet. Feet come up in every fucking stream.
I feel like that's your choice of who you're watching.
It's not. It's really not. It's just like, is like, do people actually like feet, or is it like a meme? Because at this point, it feels like people liking feet is a meme.
Thing?
Because the amount that I hear it feels like it's more of a meme now than it is an actual fetish.
Feet is like one of the most famous fetishes of all time.
Yeah, but it's weird and I don't get it.
But it's like, I'm not saying you should get it or shouldn't, but no.
Go on, explain it. Explain it.
Andy, I do not have a foot fetish. I can tell you about breath fetishes, butt fetishes, and intelligence fetishes. Because I find intelligence very sexy. Which apparently is very rare among men. Which is strange to me. Because why wouldn't you want to be with a woman who's smarter than you? She can get all the work done. But I cannot tell you about the importance of feet.
No, me neither. That's why I feel it's a meme.
But I know people who have foot fetishes.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never asked them why.
Maybe you should.
I don't
you're
really
the kind of
care.
person that would.
Like,
well, I just mean for
I know one guy who got turned on by
curiosity.
gates. I don't ask him what he did about the gates.
Gates, as in things that you use to block pathways and stuff.
I mean, I was going to say your man from Geo, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
But Andy, you can sexualize everything, but feet is very common. I don't I don't think feet are necessarily attractive or anything. I don't think about feet.
No, I think they're very functional. I think feet are functional.
But like hand fetish is another thing.
I don't see it unless you draw like a little pair of eyes on your hand.
Mm.
Then you use your thumb as its mouth and you go hello. Otherwise, yeah, no. And even then, I'm just like it's a little hand puppet rather than anything sexy.
Mm.
But we're not here to talk about fetishes today, believe it or not.
They're the first
even
time
though we've
for
started
everything.
off on this path. We're here to talk about Transformer fetishes. Ha
I love how usually it's me who takes us down these roads, and it's like we're here to talk about something else, and now you need to admit it was you. You're the problem.
It was I've never said I wasn't a problem. I'm just a different kind of problem to you.
I mean, you're a problem to everyone.
This is true. See, I don't mind admitting these things. You're the one that's like, oh, no, I'm not a problem.
I am an honest and decent human being who does nothing wrong.
See, you wrap yourself in a coat of lies. I expose myself for the monster I am.
We were talking about it beforehand, but this is why I'd be really good at Among Us.
Because you would expose yourself. Oh, no, because you'd hide yourself.
Coat of lies, Andy. Coat of
lies.
Yes,
the coat of lies.
I'd be very good at it.
What's that?
I'd be very good at it, because I'd just say you did it.
Yeah, but then no one would believe you.
But then eventually you would have done it.
You do realise that, I've been watching streams where there is one person who does that called Zentreya, and everybody has been forcing her into the lava each time that she
Yes, I may have seen the same ones, and it's very funny, especially since sometimes if you're watching someone else's streams, you can't hear her because of how she does the tech speak.
Yes.
So you just hear, and then suddenly she gets murdered.
Good times. Transformers on Mikey. We're starting off with crappy news because, well, that's how we do it here. Funko Pops, Mikey. Excuse me. We talked about these a little bit. We had a few reveals. Now we get the full, big, thick reveals. We've got retro toy versions of the Transformers. So these are good old G1 styled versions of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, Soundwave, Jazz. There's a Optimus Prime metallic version, which is an exclusive to Amazon if you're into your exclusives and your metallics and whatnot. There's a battle-damaged Soundwave, which is an exclusive to GameStop.
What is his damage?
Let's see. His boob is cracked.
I mean, we've all been there.
I've never had a cracked boob, but I imagine it's not a good thing. That's the extent of his damage. There's nothing else. The last one is Jetfire. But to be fair, it's done up like the G1 toy rather than the cartoon model, and he's also got the helmet on, so it looks more like a Robotech figure. And that is an exclusive.
Is there a Robotech Macross Funko Pop?
Well, there is now.
Because what I'm assuming is it's a repaint of something that exists.
I don't think the Funkos have infected anime yet, at least as much as they have Western properties. So I'm gonna say maybe not yet. So this might be your first in. Oh yeah, there is Naruto. Dragon Ball. They don't count. They're shonen, so they're trash. Jetfire is a Funko store exclusive, so if you're interested in that,
Funko Pop ReZero.
What's that?
Funko Pop ReZero. Funko Pop Subaru.
Oof.
With removable head.
Are you looking at all these?
No, but there should be.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I was wondering if you were just like on Amazon going through a list of things, and I was really disappointed in you.
Funko Pop Rem with a little sign saying, "Who am I?"
I always feel really disappointed, like, oh, there's a new geek store opened up. Oh, what did they sell? Funko Pops. What else?
Oh my god, that happened in Portsmouth once. There was this guy and he was just like, "We're opening a brand new geek shop. You're going to be getting all your amazing geek stuff." There's an Nendoroid Subaru. I did not know that. And I was just like, "Oh, cool." Went in. Funko Pop, a single Superman comic.
Oof. Hang on, just one comic, like a graphic novel or an issue? One issue?
One of those big, like, hardcover ones that makes it look like you're buying a prestige item.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I believe the technical term is for casuals.
Yeah.
But I want this Nendoroid Subaru now.
I mean, you could get a Funko Pop. There's enough of them.
He comes with little hands coming to take his heart.
That's quite sad. I was going to say funny, then I thought back to ReZero and went,
oh my god, his face. He's got like normal face, wide-eyed, nervous face, tears streaming from my eyes face.
Does he have the snot coming from his nose as well? Does he have the ugly cry?
No, because you couldn't with the way the Nendoroid does noses.
That's true.
But oh my god, I want this. This is like, they're not usually. There's not even the fake happy face. It's just like his best face is mildly calm.
To be fair, that's about right for Subaru. But what do you think about Funko Pops, Mikey? What do you think about these Funko Pops and their weird proportions and their horrible bug eyes?
I mean, there's a reason I'm talking about Subaru right now and Nendoroid.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Hey. My opinion of Funko Pop has not changed. This will not change it. I'm mildly interested to see if they're either doing or have done a Macross Robotech line, just out of curiosity's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are into your Funko Pops, which a disturbingly large amount of people are, this is an option for you. If you're like me, they're the reason it's at the start of the show.
It's a living nightmare as usual. Next on the crappy section, something far better, is a new officially licensed G1 Transformers backpack by Space Junk, who are a company that do bags, I guess. This has been found at Target in the America lands. It's an adult/teen-sized backpack, whatever that means. That means it's 18.5 inches, showing a very nice and fun G1 art style. On all sides, and it's going to be I'll just round it up, $30. So it to me it just looks like a standard backpack, really, but with some artwork which we haven't seen before at the very least.
No, this is new. It's kind of fun artwork because it looks like they're all being squished onto like they're all fighting for space.
Yeah, it's kind of
especially
a nightmare.
Bumblebee and Shockwave. It's like give me.
Bumblebee's pulling Shockwave's eye.
Yeah,
like his entire face eye.
Yeah. Ratchet has Galvatron, and Ratchet's like reaching for, it looks basically the Autobots seem like the bad guys in this.
A little bit, yeah, fighting for space. It's not like an amazing backpack or anything, but it's one thing I'll give it credit for is it's not using the evergreen artwork, which was never like amazing or very dynamic. So at least this is fun.
Certainly overused.
Yeah, that's another reason why this is nice, because it's different. It's something we haven't seen. I wouldn't say the art style is the best, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine, and it's interesting enough. And I don't know like prices for backpacks or stuff like that, so I'm gonna assume $30 is probably standard. I can't imagine it's a high-end backpack. So yeah, if you're in the market for a Transformers backpack, get yourself to a Target, a Target, if you would. Mikey, the Target of truth, the Target of peace. Do you want to take us on, Mikey, to the only bit of third-party news we have for this week?
Yeah, what cannot be the official name of the company. I can't believe it. And if it is, be prepared for a name change or a cancellation. As Andy dies. Andy is also being cancelled. If anyone would like to replace him, please email us at themoonbase2@gmail.com.
Wow.
Transformers movie toys. TMT-01 grey prototype of Bumblebee. Movie Bumblebee. This is a oh no, it does transform. It's sort of a semi-masterpiece-y movie Bumblebee. It's shown here next to, I believe, the 3-0 Bumblebee?
Yeah. Maybe?
The deluxe one. The smaller one. But yeah, we see it's alt mode. It's quite... what's the word I'm looking for? Panel-liney. Yeah. And we see the robot mode will come with the option to have him battle mask or unbattle mask. He comes with some weapons, which looks like a hammer and a gun.
He's got his forearm knife as well.
Yeah, he's got the forearm shank, and he seems to have at least partially posable fingers. I'm curious about this one. I mean, looking at the two of them next to each other, they do look quite similar. They're not identical, but they're quite similar, so they're at least getting decent proportions. I'm wondering if they actually basically kind of based it off it. Not like fully ripped it off, but used it as the baseline for the CAD model for the robot mode, maybe?
The other one does transform, doesn't it? The colored one.
No, that doesn't. That's a non-transforming.
Okay, so this has a feature at least that doesn't.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like
stuff.
They had the idea of like, okay, we'll use this robot design as a baseline and then we'll work from there.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they're very, very similar.
Well, they're trying to be accurate to the movie as well, to be fair.
I'm not. Well, yeah, like it is what it is. I'm not. This isn't the criticism, Andy. I'm just pointing out. Andy.
Me.
Smelly Andy. But yeah, that name can't... There's no way they're going to keep that name for the company.
Why not?
Because it's Transformers movie toys.
What could go wrong, Mikey?
Next up, we're going to have an Autobot symbol for our logo. Like, change your name, guys, now. Just change TMT to something else.
This company will only be in danger if they go up to like a Hasbro employee and start beating him with their penises. You know, like Wei Zhang seemed to have tried to do. And
Who's
then
in charge of Transformers at the moment? The two people from the live streams. Go up to just start sending them pictures, just like, by the way, we're from Transformers movie toys, not Hasbro.
Fun times.
Sign my grey prototype.
Though I do wonder, like, if the like we still see that some of the toy stuff's being busted on in China, but I wonder if that's slowing down, because once that slows down, they'll be able to build back up again. And until Disney gets slapped in the face again, I think the Western line will keep for a while. I don't think Hasbro will massively rush them, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
But yeah, no, I am not complaining. I think this could look good. I just want to, I do think kind of we're at the stage where I think we have enough third-party Bumblebees.
I think we have enough third-party movie Bumblebee things in general, because there's a lot of it.
I mean, I would like some more Shatter and Dropkick, please.
Oh, yeah, because we always get Blitzwing, or whatever version you want to say. We always get the Optimus Prime. We get Bumblebee. Yeah.
We occasionally get hints of a Soundwave.
That's true, yeah.
No Starscream yet, which is bloody a miracle. No Shockwave, but I'm really more interested in getting Shatter and Dropkick.
Do you think it's just the difficulty of trying to make it a triple changer that's putting companies off?
Maybe. I could see that. Then again, I would
also,
be
they're
okay.
not big names, to be fair.
Yeah, but I would be okay if they did them as single modes, as long as the robot modes looked right.
Do you think a third-party company, or at least fans of third-party, would accept that, though? Because I don't think they would. I think third-party fans would be like, it's a third-party, it should be doing all three modes. I don't think people would be as forgiving.
Maybe.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but
You could be wrong. Andy's been wrong before. I saw it in the news once.
It's true. That was a horrible accident. So many died. Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Yeah.
Right, so you remember last week how we were talking about the 10th anniversary pack for Prime? It was the 2-pack, the breakdown and the Viacon, and that's all we knew. And I was like, oh, it might be the Voyager. And you were like, it might be the Deluxe. And we were like, Well, we found out what's in the box. Someone spoiled it. So we found out it is, in quotations, Arms Micron War Breakdown, which means it's breakdown. It's just breakdown. It's not the Silas Black version.
No, which is a shame. I like that one.
No, because that was easy to get, and the color scheme on it was just black, and it had a little Silas inside.
Yeah, it had a little man inside, and had the wrong eye.
Good. Most people wanted. It was only in like 1 or 2 episodes as well. When people wanted breakdown, they wanted breakdown.
I want that one because there's I can remake the scene where he gets murdered on screen and dies, and you actually see him pass away. Which I thought was like, they don't care.
No, that's a good thing about Prime.
And life leaves him.
Yeah. And oddly enough as well, the Jet Viacon, which again, both of these figures were only available in Japan for the Japanese market. So was there any other ones exclusive to Japan, at least for Prime?
Well, Arms Microns, and these are coming with their Arm Microns as well, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's right. And they come with the unfortunate stickers as well to boot.
Yeah. That is, well, I mean, breakdown, that makes sense. And then again, if these are like these could be like re-releases down to the these could be identical to the original for all I know, which means it doesn't, it's not odd to me. Apparently these are $82, and apparently, as I say, apparently again, Cybertron Philippines is not a leak. Like someone just bought it.
Oh, that's
what
weird.
I read somewhere.
Oh.
So, hey,
I wonder if the quality will be better in terms of plastic, because unless this is just like leftover stock shoved into a new box, then they would have to use like better plastic than they did for when they were making these originally. One would think, right?
Hopefully, given the time,
Yeah, it doesn't mean the joints or anything will be any tighter or better on them, but maybe.
To think I'm just trying to think who is in the Arms Micron line that we didn't get over here.
That's a tricky question.
There's a version of Megatron where the Voyager Megatron where the arm is repainted, but I still can't find after years of trying, I still can't find an affordable Sharkticon Megatron. So I'm like,
is a shot one expensive?
Yep, because it's a fucking Sharkticon Megatron.
Huh.
And people know what they're selling. So I've never been able to find one for a price I liked.
I don't think we got them over here, did we?
Sharkticon, yes, but when we did, I was just like, oh, it'll be there next week. I went back, it wasn't there.
Of course. Of course.
Prime line. Like Unicron. Like, I wouldn't mind a Unicron that was redone.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The other ones are like repaints, I know. Like, you got... Who did you get? Like Nemesis Prime? Like a proper colored Nemesis Prime?
Okay, so it's, rather than a new mold, it's just a repaint. So at that point, we've had all of the molds bar the Unicron. They're
the only ones I can think of for like mold differences. Anyway, a lot of repaints. Like they had way better take on the Beast Hunters line than we did.
Sure, but basically, it boils down to we're only missing Unicron now from Prime, and that's it.
In terms of a full mold, yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. It gives you the option at least to go and get it. If you really want to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. Just because of how limited those toys are now, they're kind of rough to go back to. Apart from the Jet Viacon, that'll be fine. I don't know what breakdown would be like to go back to now and have a look. I
remember playing with him not at a con not long ago, a few years back, and I did like him, but he was quite chunky for what he was.
Right.
He's a bit short, but he was quite chunky.
Yeah.
So I think he'll probably be decent, but of course he's one of those figures where his legend has outstripped the reality.
Yeah, that's the thing. It'd be nice as well if we got the ability to get Blackout from Animated, since that was locked off to Japan as well.
And that is a figure I don't think was nearly as good as people wanted it to be, but
no,
it was still a fun figure. And I'd like to get the Optimus, like a wider release of the Optimus with the jet parts.
That's right, yeah, because it was that, and wasn't the Bumblebee They had a diving thing.
Yeah, because that was originally supposed to be over here, but never was.
That's right.
There's a ton of toys that never made it here that they already had sort of finished.
Yeah. So maybe this is the way we'll get them in the future, potentially, if an anniversary kind of slides around. It's not a terrible way to do it.
People are apparently quite annoyed that Animated's not been acknowledged for its 10th anniversary.
To be fair, this isn't a massive acknowledgement for Prime.
No, it's 2 toys that we didn't have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not in the news because what are we going to talk about? The Hall of Fame voting came out for PulseCon. And apparently the Hall of Fame is just pick a Prime character to put into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, it's either that or just more G1 characters.
But I'm just sitting there going like, I bet I wish it was Knockout, but if it mattered, which it doesn't. But I'd wish it was Knockout, but I'm super, super sure it won't be.
Probably not.
It'll probably be Starscream, Megatron, or Prime.
Is RC there, or is she already in?
No, it's all the Prime versions of the characters, so anyone's in. Like, I saw the poll, and it's just like everyone who's been in the show, basically. Bombshell's in it. Bombshell, who was in an episode for 4 seconds, voiced by Steve Blum.
Oh god, yeah. Wow.
He's on the list.
Wow. That's okay, fair enough. It's a bit of a push.
I think Makeshift is on there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he was
in
one episode. Yeah, one episode and was only in silhouette.
Yeah, where most of the episode he was Wheeljack.
Yeah, woof. Oh well, never mind. Mikey, do you want to tell us about a new comic series? And we may as well talk about From the Files of Teletron 2 as well.
Yes. So it was announced during the week in December that there is going to be a parallel miniseries running alongside the main series.
You mean Transformer Galaxies?
No, that's finished. And to be honest, that's the one that broke me, so I'm not really bothered.
But this is to me, this is just Transformers Galaxies, isn't it?
I mean,
in a sense,
but it's written by Brian.
Okay. Oh, is it? Oh,
yep. So Transformers Escape. The comics are currently kicking off the Decepticon arc after
2 years.
2 years of stories.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Cyclonus is there as well. He's coming back. Remember Cyclonus?
Oh God! What was the last thing he did? He was in the desert still, wasn't he?
I don't even remember what his plotline was.
He's a war veteran or something, and he sees the dead.
Yeah, but was he tied to the murders?
I don't know.
I don't know. So anyway, that's kicking off, and Galaxies has 2 more issues to go. Sorry. As it's kicking off its Brandon East and Ultra Magnus storyline. And in December, following up that wrapping up, we will have Transformers Escape, which will be written by Brian, art by Bethany McGuire-Smith, Winston Chan, Sarah Pieter Durocher, who in my head I was calling Sarah Pepe Ferrero Rocher all week.
Why?
I don't know. I'm a bad person. And some Canadian bear, otherwise known as Alex Milne, and edited by David Mariotti. The key thing is edited by one man. Thank you. One person, please. So the cover we see is Sarah's, and the first cover anyway. That is good.
Yeah.
That, as a man once said, that looked good. The other cover, I believe, is one of Bethany's. But man, remember, I don't like to say it this way, but man, remember when the art blew us away?
I do. Yeah, some good times.
She's so good. And Alex is so good. And Bethany is learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that to sound as bad as it did, but there's a lot of their learning going on in the comics at the moment.
Yeah.
So the basic plot is Escape's a cocktail of what they love about Transformers, with some of his favorite characters and a few surprise guest stars caught up in a pretty epic escalation, said Ruckley. I always thought it would be a pretty terrifying, bewildering experience for aliens, non-Cybertronians to be caught between warring factions of big transforming robots. We're exploring the question, who are the most dangerous Cybertronians of all? Going by solicitations, which for some bizarre reason aren't on here, the war will have kicked off. Optimus, or at least the early days, Optimus and Megatron will be forming their sides, and everyone else will be caught in the middle. Like, there'll be non-aligned, there'll be aliens, and Ironhide, Wheeljack, and a few others are going to be working on basically getting some people off planet.
Okay.
So how that will play out, whether it'll be good, whether it'll be bad, I don't know. But it's a 5-issue miniseries, so it is definitely filling in the gap that Galaxies was. So I'm curious, if nothing else, but in a certain context.
What's that context?
And the fact that my soul has died.
Oh no!
But Andy, before I say anything about souls, what's your interest in Escape?
Minimal, I would say. Unfortunately, mainly because it's no shock to anybody. We've been having kind of negative impressions of Brian Ruckley's main run work, and to hear he's doing another book as well, that just to me sounds like even more time to just have an issue and nothing happen in it each month. Is that unfair of me to say?
I'm hoping the miniseries format will kind
force him to get faster,
force you to be tighter.
I don't know, man.
But I'm slightly worried that they feel the need to stick this. This sounds like a story that should be in the main book.
Yeah,
like this should be an issue or two of the main book. I find it slightly worrying. They feel like it needs to be separate. But anyway, that's coming anyway in December. Keep an eye out for it if you've been in. I have seen people who said they really like the run. Vangelis loves it. Vangelis has enjoyed the drip feeding aspect of it. Wow. And people love the art, people enjoy the story, and fair play, more power to you. In all honesty,
sure.
We are two people with a opinion. Anyone who says that critics know what they're talking about, no critic knows what they're talking about. They just give their opinion, and it just you the listener give weight to it. The biggest critics in the world only know what they like. But as the Oscars show, Lion King did so well in the Oscar awards. That leads into a little bit of an announcement. Now, if you've been following the Moonbase 2 Twitter, which of course you should be, you may have noticed I've been slowly dying in the last few days.
It's been a good thing to see for me.
Basically, Transformers Galaxies has been kind of the thing holding me together.
I could see that. They've had some pretty good ones in there.
They haven't all been fantastic.
Yeah.
They haven't all. Some of them have been average. None of them have really been bad. And that was what I liked. I don't think the Gage storyline is going to set the world afire. And it did not replace the RC I want to see in the books. So I miss that wonderful lady. But it was I like this take. I like RC and Greenlight. There's some interesting mystery stuff going on here. Not fantastic, but, it's. And then, unfortunately, Brandon Easton did issue 10. And 3 times before I've given him a chance to impress me, and 3 times he's failed me.
What other things has he written?
He wrote Power of the Primes, or at least he was working on Power of the Primes. War for Cybertron.
Okay.
Mixed bag that it is, shall we say?
Oh, the show.
Yeah.
The Netflix thing. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah. The Deviations comic from years ago.
Which one was
that? That was the one where all the season 3 cast get killed off because they suck.
I don't remember that, to be honest.
There is a giant Starscream combiner thingy at the end as well, but that's...
Oh, God.
Mega Screen. The Galvatron, instead of, Mega Stars... Basically, it's everything would have gone better if Optimus had lived, is the story. Right. It's not really a combiner, it's Unicron picks Starscream instead. And, yeah, Galaxies, issue 10, which is a part of a 3-issue arc drawn by Andrew, which is great. But... I couldn't take it. I got to the end of the book and I was properly angry because it reads like someone trying to write a combination of the cartoon and the Marvel comics from the 80s. There are lines taken from the movie. There is dialogue. No one sounds any different. Everyone speaks in this grandiose non-person way. Right. Nothing happens. Every villain is a Marvel Comics villain. Everyone talks in a this is the thing for me. Everyone talks like they're reading from a script.
Okay.
Unless you are doing high fantasy, people should not talk like this. Even then, I have my limits. Say what you will about Game of Thrones, but at least people sounded like people. But for the most part, and I basically said to Andy, I can't keep doing this because I have been told, apparently, I enjoy being a miserly git by listeners over the years, more than once.
Okay.
And I don't. I actually really
you like
really
to
don't.
be happy.
I watch what I want to watch, I read what I want to read, and I do what I want to do.
Mhm.
And if I sound negative about the toys or whatever at any point, it's because I have limited options and I have to express my opinions on what we've got.
Sure.
And I have been spending money on these bloody books for 2 years, and I don't want to anymore, to be blunt. And I realize I have been, I've been doing it purely for the fact I have been acting as, inverted commas, a critic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to read them anymore, or at least I want to take a break. And I don't really want to do another Transformer thing for the main show for a while, because this has kind of burnt me out, and all I could really think of okay, we'll re-review something that Underbase has already reviewed that I know I like. Or something we've reviewed that I know I like, and I can't do that again.
Because the only thing comic wise for Transformers that you and I have both thought was at least decent was the 84 thing.
Yeah, I will say My Little Pony, surprisingly entertaining.
Sure.
Actually worth a read, and I will. So what I suggested to Andy is that for a few months at least until we've got maybe a volume of the main book to do for an hour, we put the main show Transformer stuff on hold, and we basically review comics we want to review. And this is specifically, we pick books that we like, at least one of us likes, and introduces to the other one. Kind of what we were doing for the Patreon show, but Fear Agent and Atomic Robo will still be Patreon exclusive when we do get to them.
Yeah.
Because people have,
it would be weird to jump on, for Volume 5 where we are, and just be like, okay, what?
Yeah, especially with Fear Agent, we're near the end.
Definitely.
Robo will never end at this rate, but stuff like Terminator or Pony or whatever, I still do want to cover in the Patreon section.
Yeah, same.
Or if something really good comes out and I hear good things, I'll ask Andy, will we do it as a main thing if it's unusual? But so I want to review there's not enough to talk about anymore. We're better off.
No, there's really not. It's just us complaining. Just because this is bad.
Yeah. As someone who, I'm not really a binger for either TV or comics, I like the week by week. I like the chapters. I like binging as well, but I do like the week by week, inverted commas, slog through a show or through a book or whatever. I would much, much, much rather cover this stuff as a volume 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the road, and just spend a while talking about something I enjoy and engage with.
I do find there might be, at least specifically for me, one problem with reading multiple issues of the ongoing in one go. I know that it's more than 30 pages, and that'll make it really hard for me.
But you'll have more time, and you can.
But I won't.
Now, you won't use that time, but you'll have more time.
I won't because I usually leave it until before the podcast before I read it, so then I remember as much as I can. If I read it far in advance, I'll forget everything that happens.
But it might get better that way.
If I forget most of the stuff, yeah, but it'll be good. So what did you think of this part, Andy? I'll be like, I have no idea. Did this even happen? What's going on?
Where am I?
I don't know who I am.
So, that said, for the main show, which we'll be recording this week on Thursday, we decided to go with something Andy actually had handy, and I know I like. We did an issue of it for the Patreon there a few months back, and like I said, talk about something that is engaging and I think is worth highlighting. So it's going to be the rest of Volume 1, issues 2 to 5 or 2 to 6, I'd have to double check, of Immortal Hulk.
Yay!
Which is the Hulk horror run, which I am falling behind on, unfortunately, just because of life. But I do, it's going to wrap up at issue 50, so I think I've got about half of it or a quarter of it to catch up on.
Oh, so it's nearly done. It's nearly finished.
Yeah,
completely.
Yeah, it's in the 30s or the 40s now.
Wow.
They're moving. I don't know what their plans are with the Hulk book, but Immortal She-Hulk is coming. Because now, they've introduced basically Gamma mutants are now magic. They're full on mystical beings. Gamma's just a doorway that takes you to magic, but it's a horror book, so I don't mind.
Okay.
But also, this is one of those things that a year from now, someone else is going to do it. I'm just going to please don't. Please don't. And after this, we're going to basically when it comes to time to do a show, we'll have a chat and see what book we want to review and which ones we don't, and if we want to go mainstream and not mainstream or what, and it just have some fun.
Yay!
Yeah, and stuff like 84 might not go into Patreon just because we have been reviewing it mainstream.
Sure, yeah.
But like Terminator will be there. If we cover Pony, that'll be where that is.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think we will cover ponies. To be fair,
yeah. Back to the Future is definitely going there.
Yes.
It's just mental health stuff, genuinely. At least in my case.
Mikey just wants to be happy. I'm okay with being perpetually annoyed and sad. That's just my life, so I'm used to it.
I've never been I don't hate watch stuff. And I'm not that guy who just like spends money on things because he wants to like be a dickhead to it. And I'm just like yeah, and it's like I feel it's important to emphasize this is not a reflection on the creators involved.
No.
I've always said I don't think anyone in this is actually bad. I just think whatever has come together into this perfect storm of dissatisfaction.
It would be like this to me at the moment. It would be like if the Transformers ongoing from however many years ago kept going. You know, the China incident or whatever that was called. If it was that, but it just kept going.
Or North Korea, that was it. They were working for North Korea.
Something like that. I
and
can't
someone
remember
who totally wasn't Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was actually called. I just remember hating it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. Woof.
But yeah, so keep an eye out for that, guys. And like, let me know what you think. Like, let me know if there's any books like for this you think it would be worth us looking at. To be honest, and I'll give a look and see if they fit the criteria, which is I need to be happy.
Did you ever read Annihilation?
No, do you know what? I have never read Annihilation.
Annihilation's good. That's worth a read.
The main book, or is there like 1,000 side books? Because Annihilation's old, so it might not have all the tie-ins.
I don't think it had a lot of tie-ins. I think it had some tie-ins, but I've got the omnibus upstairs, so I can't remember exactly how that's divided. I think that's probably got everything in it, but I can't. Again, it's been a while since I've actually looked at my hardbacks. I actually moved them because they had to be dusted yesterday.
Oh God, no! I did some cleaning today, so it was kind of the same thing.
For a one-handed man, that's quite impressive.
Yes, it took me about 4 hours.
Oh no!
There's a little Nindroid Beatrice. Sorry, I'm multitasking, which is basically looking at stuff and like I don't need money.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so yeah, like let us know what you think of that, and like I said, we will go back to them. But at least for a while, the every month single issues need to take a back burner.
We need a break from them, basically, it seems. And I'm okay with this. When Mikey said this to me, I was like, no, let's keep going, please. So yeah, we'll keep, you know, like you said, we will keep updated with them, but we probably just won't talk about them as frequently, just for a little break. Shall I take us on, Mikey, to the next bit of news?
Let's do.
Right, so Studio Series 86, we had some reveals for this. As we finished the show last week, I think this again came out on the Monday, if not very quickly in the week. We got bad images of Hotrod, and we got more images of, we got one more image of the Kingdom Fossilizer figure, which I can't remember has a name or not.
I think it does, but I don't know what it is.
No, I can't remember offhand either. We also got an image of Studio Series 86 Cup, and as of today, we got a video from Tauntaun Reviews showing off said Studio Series Hot Rod. And what came up just before we started recording, it was just before we started recording, was a blurry image of what I assume is Studio Series 86 Scourge. And then it was unblurred. Someone used a filter on Photoshop or something to unblur it, so we can see at least what he looks like in his robot mode. We don't see what his flying soap mode looks like, but we get a good solid look at that. So that's something. So, what do you want to start on first, Mike? Do you want to talk about Cup? Do you want to talk about the Hot Rod?
Hot Rod's easiest, just because there's the most to say about him, I suppose.
Yeah, so obviously the first images we got of him were terrible. His hands were backwards. He was not completely transformed. He looked a bit of a mess. But then, like I said, as of today, we got a full reveal. Not like official, and I'm sure people were angry about that. But too bad. Too bad. So we see he comes with a few things, which is nice. He comes with his double pistol thingamabobs, whatever they're called. Ion rifles. Oh, I don't know. He also comes with a drop-down visor from that one scene in the movie when he did it once and then he never ever did it again. Like his transformations, never the same way twice.
Like everything he did in that bloody movie.
Very much so. But as a kid, I never noticed. Because why would I? I was a child. He also comes with a Matrix and a shiny Matrix effect to be like, "Ooh, I'm the chosen one in that boss." Do we know what scale this is? Because he looks like he's
deluxe. He's slightly
tall,
shorter
though.
than the Masterpiece. Slightly shorter than the Masterpiece.
Yeah,
but he's like
taller
tall
than...
for a modern deluxe. But he looks like you see him next to the Wheeljack. He looks like he's from a different line.
Yeah, I would agree. He looks taller, and I don't think that's to be in scale. I think that's just maybe, like you say, because he's the Studio Series.
It's going to be weird because Studio Series presumably will have a different scale. Because Studio Series is all about scale, as much as they can be.
Yeah, and does this mean that the Studio Series movie stuff, like the non-cartoon movies, done or coming to an end?
Don't know. The thing is,
this
they've
just
done
opening another avenue.
80 something figures. So they're basically like I don't know who's left from the movies.
From the live action ones, you mean?
Yeah, maybe a couple of the Dreads.
This is why I ask if
accurate versions of the Dread, not what they did.
This is why I ask if it's maybe what they're trying to do is like shift over to the cartoon, because if they do the cartoon, do the 86 movie. You've got literally all of season 1 cast, and then you've got all of season 3 cast.
I want dead versions of all the season 1 cast who died. Like
Brawn
I
with
want
a hole
Prowl
in him.
like missing a shoulder.
Yeah,
or Brawn missing a shoulder. Sorry, but I mean, they look like one thing I will say, just looking at these compared to the generations, is that Hotrod looks different. He does not look like he doesn't look like he'd actually fit in very well with a current War for Cybertron display.
No, I don't know. I'd like to see him next to Optimus Prime and a few other ones, but he does look different.
If you go 15 minutes into the review, 15:34, there's a nice pause of Wheeljack, and they're more. I think it's the level of detail as much as anything else.
Yeah, there's not as much sculpted detail, is there?
Yeah, and his proportions are more movie accurate.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I like the fact he has the little welder hand.
Yeah, that's neat. From that one time when he fixed Cup.
I don't think he has a buzzsaw, does he?
It doesn't look like it. Maybe that's an accessory that will come down later, maybe, but I doubt it.
And they show him next to the Masterpiece, and I'll be honest, he looks better than the Masterpiece.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing like similar things to the Masterpiece, but better.
Yeah. That Masterpiece had a lot of compromises, but
it did. Is this is the Hotrod Masterpiece as well, isn't it, rather than the Rodimus one?
Yes, Hotrod, and he's got movable fingers, which I don't think we've seen in anything this scale in a while.
Yeah, I don't think
great.
It's necessary.
They open, Andy.
Yeah. But it's like, but why? Like, it's like this is the thing with these kind of hands, where it's just the hand kind of opens up and it's still a claw. Why is that a thing? Because it doesn't really add to anything.
Because it looks like he's about to gouge your eyes out.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like an extra piece that they're using for engineering, which could just make I'm not saying the guns will be loose, but it gives you a point where over time the hand could become looser for just wear and tear.
Absolutely.
So to me, it always seems pointless. If you want to go down this route, give them removable hands. Because it's just easier then, and then you can have them as posable things. I don't know. It's odd.
But yeah, I mean, I was right about the shoulders. They work as Hot Rod's shoulders always work, which is kind of barely.
Yeah. I think they're fine for what they're trying to do, though.
Yeah, they do put in a bit of extra engineering, so at least you can do the whole stick out the arms at a weird angle, which you can't do with a lot of Hot Rods.
Yeah, he does come with a buzzsaw, Mikey. It's at 12:44.
Oh, actually, look, I'm at 12:33. Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh, there you go.
It's a separate piece. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I like the accessory count on this, in all honesty.
He's coming with a lot.
Hopefully he won't cost insane money.
He's a leader.
Oh, shoot me in the face.
I might be right.
I saw I saw the Earthrise Shattered Glass kit. I was just looking at prices, and someone has decided to sell them in, like, they sell these toys individually. They did it with they're doing it with the Piranacon set, and they're sending like the individual toys like $70 or $80 a piece. This is an actual full-on website. Like, the thing is, the Optimus is going at 40, the Shattered Glass Optimus on his own, and I'm sitting there going like, you know what? For that mold, that's not a bad deal.
Not terrible.
Because your other option is 55. And I'm just like, wow, how bad is it? How bad is it? I'm saying 10, 12 euros more than you should actually pay for the toy is a good deal.
It shows you have the sickness, Mikey. The Akane sickness.
She's a good girl. She did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Depending on what your thought process is of artificial intelligence, I suppose.
Nothing
in a sense, artificial.
Wrong.
Because I don't know.
No, they already existed. She just manipulated them. They were just a different. It's like manipulating Digimon. They're not artificial. You can just reprogram them.
Yeah.
Basically,
they are
everyone in Gridman's
well.
a Digimon.
Sweet.
When's Dinosaur coming out?
I will say, I think this toy looks really good for what it is.
Yeah,
Like you said, Mikey, the accessory count is superb, really. Minor concern about how much it's going to cost. But it's not a bad start to the line.
No,
whatever this line might be.
I mean, my worries are still there, and I'd be lying if I said they weren't. But I am more positive now, having seen one of these guys.
Yeah,
and seeing it in detail, like not in a fuzzy picture that someone's trying to make look mysterious. So,
and let's be fair, this is what people want as well. Like they didn't.
Yeah.
People didn't really want the Titan Master Hot Rod.
No,
I mean even
even people who like it don't want it.
No.
But like, if this is sort of like, this is the character I would be least excited about. Sure. Of potentials from that line for the 86 line, and I think this guy's turned out good. Yeah,
I would agree. I'm more excited about this because it's. I mean, I wouldn't get him just because he's Hot Rod, but he's season 3, so at least he's visually more interesting than the stuff we've been getting for a long time. So I'll definitely go down that route. We have bad images, like I said, of Cup, who looks okay. I don't think he looks like a massive upgrade from the Titans Return one. And that's strange to say because I just said no one wanted the Hot Rod. But I'd say no one wanted the Hot Rod because the Hot Rod was compromised. I think the cup that we got from the Titan Masters, especially if you got the Japanese version, which with these colors, was really good. It was really interesting mold. It wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't cartoon accurate or movie accurate like this is going for. But I think it was an incredibly well serviceable cup. This looks the problem obviously with this is we're talking about it and it's clearly mistransformed. The arms aren't pegged and the feet aren't completely transformed. It's not at a great angle, so it's
the
really
arms
hard
are
to say if it looks
like looking at the shoulders, they're at different levels. So clearly someone has not transformed his arms right.
No, it's true, but he does look, again, for what they're doing in this terrible image, it looks like it's good. Or it looks like it's interesting, but it feels to me more like a slight diagonal kind of increasing quality or visual. For me, for someone else, this might be the perfect upgrade. But for me, it's only a slight incline kind of upgrade rather than a full straight up upgrade. What about you, Mikey?
Yeah. I want to see it properly transformed.
Certainly, yeah.
I think the Titans Return one is good. But I think Cup's toys in general have been good. Like, I like the classics one that people said, oh, it doesn't look like the original thing, and I was like, I always really like that toy.
Which one?
It's not perfect, but it's unique looking and interesting. I even like the Swerve version.
Which one was that?
He turned into a regular pickup.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was really interesting. That was way more like the War Cup from Wreckers and stuff.
And he had like very interesting shoulders, and that's something I don't often say. But this guy's so badly transformed, it's really hard to say. But yeah, he just looks competent enough. But I would have said that about the Hot Rod if I hadn't seen the full turnaround.
That's true.
So I want to see this, and I'm also kind of curious, like, not only like what accessories does Cup have in the movie?
He has a little energon dispenser, and he can give out the little energon treats.
I think that like if he doesn't have posable hands by the looks of it.
No. For some reason they gave them to Hotrod, but not to Cup.
But I'd really like it if he came with something like, even if it's just like pegging to his hand, little energon goodies or something like that. But I don't know what off the top of my head what accessories Cup would come with.
Apart from the energon dispenser, I'm like going through in my brain, and I can't remember if he had anything. Not nearly as much as Hotrod. Hotrod had all the fucking accessories because he was Luke Skywalker, so he got all the good stuff. Cup was boring and old, and no one likes old people.
Yeah, I saw someone who watched the video say like, "Oh, thank God, Hotrod's transforming like he did in the movie," and I laughed.
Which time?
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, in the movie, Hotrod doesn't transform the same way twice. Not even like similarly, he can transform completely different every time.
It's mad. It's mad. Did you? Because I didn't watch the video all the way through. Did you notice which transformation he was given?
I believe it's the one where his torso does the flip around.
Okay, not his arms, where his arms just entirely turn around.
No, it looks like it's the one where the torso does the flip.
Okay, that one, yeah, that's probably the more competent, easier one to kind of translate to reality. Oh, Mikey, that's what you do. Hasbro Pulse exclusive. They're like 3 or 4 different Rodimuses or Hot Rods, and they all transform in different ways.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know that would make some people very happy. Like our good friend Rob. He'd love it.
Yes.
He'd suffer
but Rob
because he'd have to buy it.
Rob needs more Hot Rods.
That's it's true. Now, the last one we got, is that right? Yeah, the last one we got, which is the Scourge. And the last time we got Scourge was, again, the Titans Return one, which was okay. They didn't get the wings right, but I don't think they've ever got the wings right. Maybe until now. I think the wings on this look really good. He has his pretty fingers. His hands are open like our C's are, but I'm hoping they're not going to give him a square handle to hold at the very least. The head mold looks really sharp on him, though.
Like, overall, I like this. I'm not entirely sure I'd say the wings are correct either, because I think physics are fighting you in Scourge, but
they are more correct than they have been.
They are more interesting than they have been.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to phrase it. The more interesting.
Because I'm just thinking, like, your option is that or the sort of weird biplane thing. Actually, you know what? Looking at it, they've done something that they usually don't do, which is give them kind of the stepped appearance in the wings. Oh, you mean
they've put the big main bits further back than the sticky out bits? I see what you're saying.
In the cartoon model, they're merged into one piece, but obviously you can't do that here. But here it's like, do you know what? They have gone for a bit more accurate than people have before. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think making that kind of exception and, like you say, layering it has helped a lot. Do you think... I definitely get this. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I like it. Do you think he's got the open hands because they want to show off he's got the claws?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. There's no other reason why you do it, because Cub didn't get opened hands. Hot Rod got the ability to close his hands. And with Scourge, like his thing is, I've got pink nails for some reason. So yeah, I think that's 100% the reason why they've done it. And I don't think it's a bad idea for them to do it either. You know what the issue will be, Mikey?
Was?
He'll probably be one per case.
Oh God.
Because Hasbro has a tendency to do that. And Scourge is obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, and I don't know who doesn't know who's listening to Transformers podcast, he's the army builder, unless you're weird and you're like, well, what about his armada? And then
not his armada.
And then someone throws a shoe at you because it's like, no, his armada is not a thing. It's just a line. What about the extra model Cyclonus? Yep, do you remember how he was never in the rest of the film? Oh, God.
What about your face?
That's why I have to say that. But no, I like this. I like this a lot. Not a problem, but I hope in the future maybe they do some new target masters for Hot Rod and Cup and Scourge, because that just makes sense. You could do like a 3 or 4 pack, or just sell them like you did the Battle Masters, so you could have their Nebulon partners. I'd be all right with that. Mikey, our last bit of news to talk about that's worthwhile at least is Hasbro PulseCon. Pulse Plus.
Yes.
Pulse.
PulseCon has announced their various panels for their various topics. They've done it for Power Rangers, they've done it for other ones, but of course for our things it is Transformers. So apart from the Hall of Fame, the panels that have been revealed are as follows. This will, for anyone who doesn't know, PulseCon is going to be an online American exclusive event, and by American continent anyway, running on the Friday 25th and Saturday 26th of September at 11 and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Transformers will be on Friday, and the panels are as such. The voices that inspired Transformers fans for generations that we won't hire anymore because we don't want to pay extra fees.
Oh, it's sad but kind of true.
But I like this. It's Peter Cullen.
Oh.
Frank Welker.
Oh.
And Ben.
Ben.
Okay,
I don't mean to sound mean, but who's Ben?
Ben from Hasbro Transformers brand team.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking of a voice actor. I was like, who the fuck's Ben?
Presumably he's going to be the old MC.
That makes sense, yeah.
But the other one is, who could have thunk it, the War for Cybertron Kingdom reveal.
Woo.
No more leaks, honesty restored, morality brought back to us.
I look forward to seeing all the toys we've already seen.
I'm hoping we see Megatron at least.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is going to be by the brand team, and the special guest for the event is an actor from Bumblebee. Not the one I'd have wanted. That would have been Charlie. But it is John Cena, Agent Burns, because he's got nothing to do at the moment because acting stalled, and so is wrestling. Although I was talking to Vangelis and TJ Omega during the week, and wrestling sounds like it's gone nuts. Like
nuttier, I would say.
Actually, could be put in an institution nuts in their approach to handling this sort of COVID problem, where they basically have a Thunderdome where you have people watching at home, but I think there's something like you have to be wearing the right clothes or else they'll turn you off and swap you over to someone else. Yeah,
they've got a load of screens so you can webcast yourself a stream. They're doing that on Britain's Got Talent as well. One of those shows where the audience is watching from their webcams or something. It's weird. It's
Andy,
creepy.
You may not believe this, but I'm not up to date in the current standing of Britain's Got Talent.
Neither am I, but I only know about it because I watched Gogglebox to hurt myself to see how stupid the entire country is. And it was one of the segments on there brought it up. I was like, oh, wow, that's... Well, I mean, it doesn't make the show any better, but fair enough. Rock and roll, guys.
Just so you know, there are going to be other special guests at PulseCon who might attract your attention. And these will include Joe Magnelio from True Blood, the Sexy Vampire Show. Number 452. Ashley Eckstein from Rise of Skywalker and the Clone Wars. I'm assuming she's production because I don't think they had crossover characters. Matthew Lillard, who is a D&D fan and has something to do with Scooby-Doo. Ernie Hudson and Jason Reitman from Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's actually legitimately cool. D. Bradley Baker, voice of 1,000 Dogs from Star Wars Clone Wars. And many more, including a special message from Henry Golding. And I just looked up who that is, and he is something to do with Snake Eyes. Is he playing Snake Eyes in a Snake Eyes movie by any chance?
I would guess he might be Snake Eyes in a live-action movie, which is still happening, apparently.
A 2021 Snake Eyes movie.
Which we have had no trailer for, as far as I'm aware.
Which is probably not even filmed. Matthew Lillard is a director and voice actor and American actor, so he's also a D&D nerd. Side note, for someone, I've been wanting to play D&D for ages, really. I'm feeling like I might actually just try joining some sort of beginner game and see how it goes. It'll go badly, but might as well give it a go at some point.
I would imagine you get very annoyed at people not playing correctly. You seem like that kind of person.
I don't know how to play correctly. I can't get annoyed. Musical guests will be available as well, including Fall Out Boy, Lights. I have no idea. And Tenacious D, which definitely caught me off guard. which is Jack Black and Kyle Glass. It's going to be on the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, and again, it is region specific. If you are outside the continent of the United States of America, Canada, and Alaska, and Mexico. Is Mexico included in that?
I honestly don't know.
If you're in Mexico, tell us. I'm very curious. You cannot watch it. You will have to do what everyone else does and use a VPN or hack it or whatever. But yeah. And there's some charity stuff going on as well, and some virtual games and stuff. But yeah, so for us, Transformers will be the day. Friday will be the day. Any thoughts, Andy?
Well, I know personally, outside of the Transformers stuff, which I'm kind of like, how much is like jokingly but serious as well. We're going to see a lot of stuff we've already seen. We're going to see Rat Trap. We're going to see Black Arachnia. We're going to see the Warpath. We're going to definitely see those three at the very least. Yeah. I don't know if, because we've seen Cup, Scourge as of today, and Hotrod, if they'll just fart them out because it's like, well, fuck, we may as well. I'm hoping, but maybe not, because they're not Kingdom figures, so they might not bother.
Yeah,
they might only focus on the Kingdom stuff.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. Other stuff that I'm looking forward to finding out more about Hero Quest, because that's been teased. I assume that will probably be in the Dungeons and Dragons talk on Friday.
I'm just looking now. Matthew Lillard, Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Playing doesn't say anything here anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing here specifically saying anything about Hero Quest. But Hero Quest is
Hero
going
Fest.
to happen.
Hero Fest,
no,
is it?
No, Quest.
Okay. Is Hero Quest? Is that a Kickstarter thing I heard about? I'm trying to remember.
It's not Kickstarter. They announced something is going to happen for Hero Quest, which is an old game, which Hasbro licensed out to MB years and years ago. And they were teasing that it's going to come back in some form. And I guess we'll probably hear about it at Hasbro Pulse. The other stuff I'm looking forward to is to see what they're going to do with the G.I. Joe classified line, which I assume is going to be in the G.I. Joe panel. I don't really care about much of the other stuff there for the G.I. Joe stuff, but I hope we'll get some of the figures shown, because they have mentioned that one of the rumors for one of the figures that's going to be up and coming that hasn't been shown or anything will be Zartan. So I look forward to that. Mikey, you looking forward to Power Ranger stuff?
I mean, Power Ranger stuff, like, I know that they might get some new Lightning Collection announcements, because there's been, like, Lightning Collection is, if you think Transformers has leaks, you ain't seen nothing.
Oh, really? They're getting leaks, are they?
Lightning Collection has been leaky since day one.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
So I know there's at least 2 waves that haven't been announced, where there's at least 1 figure out of each wave.
Are there any characters for Power Rangers Lightning that you would want to have? Because you've got Lord Zed. I assume you've got a Dougie Kruger. Is there any?
Yes.
Is there anyone else?
Like, I found a cheap Draken during the week. I was kind of tempted to pick it up. The original, because finding him cheap is hard.
Ah, okay.
Because he's Draken, he sells like gold.
Did you get that Ranger Slayer? Because I sent you a link to an auction.
No, I missed out on that.
You damned fool.
I don't always have money. Or ever.
It was really cheap, though.
Shut up your face! But, like, a lot of them, like, I'd like... the Magna Defender would be one I wouldn't mind.
He's definitely coming, isn't he? I'm pretty sure I saw that announced.
He's out.
Oh, he's out, okay.
He's like a few waves back, actually. A lot of the other ones are kind of like the line filler ones, like Aberray Killer or Dino Thunder White would be one to pick up.
Oh yeah, you do like Yabba Ranger, that's for sure.
Yeah, they like Red from that leaked during the week. You could get the gold Zeo, but
what about Greedo?
Hang on,
not Greedo. What's his name? The
Golder? Rito. Is there a Lightning Collection Rito?
No, but this is what I'm saying. Ones that you'd like.
Oh yeah, Rito. I'd like more monsters, in all honesty. Like, there's plenty of... Like, a Mesogog. He's not the best design in the world, but I think you could get a decent action. He's the dinosaur one from Dino Thunder. He had, like, a weird thing where he talked through a mask, but you could see his, like, real jaw moving. I think that would work well for a figure.
A toy. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But like a few monsters, like for me, it was always like the sixth and the extras would be nice. Like Silver, Dino Thunder Silver, so you could have a Tauren.
I was gonna say Tauren, just as bird form though.
Yeah, no, I'd really like, but like I'd like a 2-pack.
Oh, of him in his suit and out of the suit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that would really, and like both have to have the finger snap.
because they haven't done a Doggy Kruger out of the suit, have they? Oh,
No.
never mind. Because I know what the problem would be. They do the lizard dog, and no one
the
likes
head,
that.
and the head would be huge.
Yeah, no. It needs to be Fluffy Dog, who just looks like a furry suit. But that's fine because he's Doggy Kruger, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Trying to think who else would be interesting to do. I'm getting my Sentais and my Rangers mixed up now. Trying to remember which ones have been adapted.
Gray. Do fucking Gray, I dare you. Give him a fucking cigarette, you cowards.
Yes. I believe Jetman did appear in Megaforce.
Really?
As one of the... Because Megaforce had suits from outside the Power Rangers.
Nah, there's no way they do Gray,
They filmed... No. But they filmed new scenes using the old suits, which I thought was hilarious for Power Rangers. So, you could do Jetman, you could do a good old Black Condor, whose figure art I never got hold of after years of trying. But someday I will have all the crap I don't want now that it's 10 or 12 years old, outdated by engineering, and I'm just like, I have it! But, I would love a Grey. Grey would be amazing. Give me all the villains from Jetman. They were all great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd really like? I can't remember his Power Ranger name, but the armor suit from Abba Ranger.
I'm not familiar with
Zeltrax.
Abba Ranger, so I couldn't
Zeltrax.
say.
He was Zeltrax in Dino Thunder, but it was a really cool suit. It was one of the best villain designs they've done. Like, really, really neat. But yeah, I'd like more villains. I think that, because you could say pick out Rangers, but it's always just kind of the same few.
Yeah.
You could do Space Silver, but does anyone really want Space Silver?
I'm sure people do.
They could do. Do you know what they should do? Just because it was a kind of like a landmark one, they should do the Titanium Ranger from Lightspeed.
Was he unique to that series? Okay.
The mech was an AI control mech in the Go-Go 5.
Okay.
And they decided to not do anything like that in the show, and they gave a Ranger instead, the Titanium Ranger. So all his stuff, which also why he didn't appear in the show a lot.
Right.
Because and they also did original Rangers for Jungle Fury, I believe. But yeah, I think the Titanium, I think he's a landmark character, so why not give him a halfway decent? And not a bad design. Not a brilliant design, not a bad one.
Okay.
Oh, do you know who I'd like? Quantum. I'd like Quantum Ranger. I really liked him.
That was just the inverse colors of the Red Ranger, wasn't it?
Yeah, from Time Force.
From Time Force, yeah.
Yeah, he was really cool. I'd like them to start moving into Megazords. But that will never happen.
Well, never say never.
No, they released a mildly posable Megazord, a Dino Megazord during the month.
Yeah, if that does well, they'll probably do more. If it doesn't do well, then you snookered.
Yeah, but I'd like action figures. I'd rather have action figures than transforming bricks.
That's fair. Were there any other panels that could that we know of that you'd be interested in?
Let me just see.
Because I'm not too interested in Star Wars or Marvel myself.
Yeah, Marvel. It's been a while since they've done anything that was interesting me. Dungeons and Dragons, like I said, I might want to try something out of it sometime, but I don't know enough to really say I want to watch a panel on it. And I know a guy who would love to watch the Magic panel, but I am not that guy.
Good old Wayne. And his problems.
Wayne has many problems.
His card problems. Right, well, that's all
he told me he wasn't falling down the well, and I'm just like, sure you're not, Wayne.
He's goddamn lies. He just doesn't need to lie to us. That's all of our news, though, for this week. So, Mikey, what you been up to this week? What you done for fun, son?
Not a ton, because my arm's still broken.
Yay!
So, I like a lot of watching clips and streams and stuff, just because they're easy viewing.
Says the man with a problem.
Said the man with a problem. I like to think I've become one of many people with problems.
Oh yes, Oh yeah.
Across all genders, spectrums, and nations.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I realize I'm also not someone who tends to, or at least I'm not practiced at sitting down for streams for 4 or 5 hours. So I'm watching them in like bits and bobs as I'm going along. But I've seen some fun ones. Like those Twitch ones, the crazy Twitch ones, I'm kind of in love with. They're fucking hilarious.
You mean the Twitch VTubers, the English ones? Yeah.
I ended listening to the Iron Mouse, Project Melody, and Silver Veil podcast they started doing.
Oh, the Lewdcast.
That's fantastic. Oh my god, I laughed so hard. I nearly died. And I was walking down the road at a time passing people who wanted to know why I nearly died. They're very good at what they do. Like
it's chaotic energy to the max.
They have such a good dynamic and such good energy together. So I started watching their D&D thing as well today, and it just like I haven't made it far into it, but like I actually started watching it. Realized I was listening to it and realized I better start watching this because I got to Zentreya, and for anyone who knows, Zentreya does at the time anyway only communicated via text speak.
She's mute.
Yeah.
Like she actually can't speak at all.
Are you sure?
So that's how she does her streams. She uses a voice thing.
I was because I saw the voice thing like when she switched over to the Russian voice, like the text speak, and there was a comment like where she's apologizing because it's not that she's mute. She doesn't want anyone to know who she is. She's really nervous with stalkers.
Okay, well, that's fair because I thought being told at the very least that she was mute, but if that's the case, that also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like fair play. She's good at what she does anyway.
Yeah,
It takes a certain talent to be that animated when you're. I'd love to know how the technology works because some of her reactions are too fast to be typing. Like there must be a vocal communication bit where like her words are translated.
Yeah,
which is probably explaining some of her more epic. Text errors, but like she was doing the D&D thing and I'm just like there's these large quiet gaps and I'm realizing I should be looking at the screen right now. So but yeah, apart from that stuff, only a couple of things of note. Not gaming again goes hand, but watch Saber episode 3.
Is it still Sentai?
I may be doing a comic thing and taking a break from that soon.
Oh no. Bummer.
There was a lot of stock footage and 3D stuff, but
to be fair, it is early in the series, so that's to be expected.
Not like this. I've never seen it like this.
Oh.
In 5 minutes you had 4 full transformations, some of which we've already seen, including because you know how the Saber transformation works.
Yes.
But then you know how there's a bit where it's like the book story is explained, what he's swinging swords around. They keep using that in full. But then they did it for the main forms. They did it for boat riders in the main form. Then they did boat for riders in their extra forms. Then they did it for a new rider, Buster, in his form. And then there was stock footage attacks.
That's
like
bit much.
This feels like it. This feels more budget tight than I have in a while. And
that has to be just due to the amount of CG that they're gonna might be planning to use, maybe, right? Since they have this book world that they keep going into.
Yeah, but I've noticed the book world of stock has started being like I'm in a quarry. With bubbles. Someone's blowing bubbles. So I think good. The CGI may not be as big as people think, but it's trying real hard to be whimsical. And like the magic of learning, the magic of books. To be blunt, I think when it comes to fairy tales, Deno did it better.
Okay, yeah.
Deno was all about fairy tales.
And Deno was good.
Deno was very good. Deno was voted one of the top, I think the top original 10 Heisei series by some poll during the week.
Yeah, I don't think that's unfair.
It's not my absolute favorite, but Blade came in at 7. I wanted to punch a bitch.
Oh, yeah, Blade should have been higher than that, but maybe people gave up after the first 10 episodes, which you go, okay.
beat it. Kabuto beat Blade, my ass.
But like I say, maybe
Kiva beat Blade.
Get through, but people find it hard to get through those episodes. You know they do.
People watch Kiva.
That is also a fair point.
Yeah, you can't vote Kiva high if you've seen Kiva. And
some
if
people
you have
like Kiva.
Some people like getting kicked in the balls for sexual pleasure. We were talking about fetishes earlier on. I don't judge, but I don't accept it as something I will experience.
Are you seeing Kiva as a sexual fetish?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's fine.
You don't get feet, I don't get Kiva. But yeah, and the writing is we are 3 episodes in. I have no fucking idea about this guy's personality beyond the fact that he wants people to read books.
He'll die for a promise, Mikey.
Good.
Oh, Jesus, goddamn!
Give him something else to say, please. I am getting such good. I feel like there's a very this feels like it's written by the guy who did Ghost, and this feels like some executive producer is putting his boot in the entire experience. I don't know. It's very early days in the writer show. We all know how quickly this can change, but
Sure.
At the moment, I'm just like, we'll see. But certainly stylistically, it's not working for me. It's
a real rough start at the very least.
I would say so, and I'm not alone.
Okay.
The other thing of super note would be Camp Cretaceous aired on Netflix.
Bumpy!
Fuck you, Bumpy.
Everybody loves Bumpy.
Bumpy is a fucking problem.
Sorry,
one thing they really needed to establish in this show was time. How time passes, because...
what is Camp Cretaceous, Mikey? People might not
Camp
know what
Cretaceous
it
is the first official animated series for Jurassic Park franchise.
Cool.
One was planned in the 90s, never got off the ground. Another was planned in the early 2000s, never got off the ground. Camp Cretaceous is the first time. Basic story is Darius is your main character. His father had died a while ago, and they both wanted to go to Jurassic World. There's a VR game that if you win, you get past Jurassic World if you're the first person who does it. He figures it out. Implausibly, but hey, it's a cartoon. And he's in Camp Cretaceous, which is going to be the summer camp for the kids. And this all happens to be happening alongside the original Jurassic World movie, which means it's happening alongside the Indominus breakout. Hilarity ensues of violence, and yeah, it's about the kids' need to basically get off the island. There are 6 kids as the main characters, and then you have their camp counselors. You have a couple of cameos. There's Dr. Wu, the fiendish Dr. Wu is in it as a supervillain. Like, just a plain old supervillain in this one with an evil lab. And Eddie appears. Eddie is a lab member who has never been mentioned before, and there's a reason you'll never hear him mentioned again.
Because?
He a dick. Because you don't talk about, digestion.
Oh no.
Oh, it was his birthday too.
Well, was he only a few days from retirement?
I don't care. He was a dickhead. So I've been watching reviews of this as well. One review described it as the second half is the show at its weakest, the first half of the show is the strongest. One described it as excellent. One spent a weird amount of time apologizing for it being a kid's show. Like,
why were they apologizing?
Every couple of minutes, says like, listen, this review, it's got to remember this is a kid's show. Remember, this is a kid's show. Remember, this is a kid's show. It's just like, we know.
All right.
My own personal take on it. The first 3 episodes are the weakest in the show by a pretty significant margin. The kids are all stereotypes, and this is when they are trapped in their stereotypes. You've got the dino nerd. They even call each other by their stereotypes. Dino nerd, rich kid, social media person, overly friendly farm girl, sports athlete with a heart of gold and can't relate, and the nervous rep hypochondriac. You've seen him, you know him. And this, right, so from episode 4 on, it's the Indominus breakout, but clearly someone decided that there had to be a sense of tension and drama in the whole show, because it's only 8 episodes, which means that when everything should be perfectly safe, they keep putting the kids in incredibly stupid scenarios.
They do, or do the kids?
The
themselves?
Kids. Like, the kids are, like...
Oh,
but
sorry,
it's like
you mean the writing does it?
Yeah. It's this ridiculous... It's to a ridiculous degree. Because there's 3 episodes, and, like, they break out at night to see dinosaurs and think they're in the compy pen, but it's the raptor pen, and one of them falls in.
Oh, I saw that clip. That was
And I'm
dumb.
just like... I'm just like, just let Blue eat him. We like Blue. Blue's very popular.
Was
No
it
one will
actually
care if
blue? Was it not
It was
just
blue.
a raptor?
No, there's only 4 raptors in Jurassic World.
Okay.
And it's just the raptor squad, so it was Blue and gang. And Blue does get a little, like, she gets a little bit more screen time, but she's, like, the only dinosaur from the movie with a lot of screen time is the Indominus and the Mosasaur. And then the next episode, they get attacked by the main dinosaur villain of the show by accident after sneaking into his cage. And the next episode, for some reason, someone thought a great safe activity was herding about 400 tons of dinosaur in a ball, in one of the gyrosphere balls. Because herbivores are fine and safe and never mean.
No.
Turns out, nearly die. But it really felt artificial. But then the Indominus breakout happens and the whole show does a complete turnaround. I think the second half is actually pretty solid. Everyone's characters start to develop. The Indominus kills a lot of people. There's a lot of discretion. She's eating someone's shots. But you're also like, oh no, I just saw her eat someone. Oh no, she dropped a bus on someone. Like, this show is quite dark in the second half. Quite dark. There's a real sense of tension. The dinosaur graphics overall are pretty solid for what they're doing. To the point they kind of clash with the very cartoony DreamWorks humans with the big eyes. The humor is toned back. The action's pretty solid. And there's a real sense of tension. It feels Jurassic-y. And also I really like that the characters break out of their stereotypes a bit. And a lot of tension that isn't resolved, and a very interesting approach to the idea of Fireforged friends. You know, the whole thing of like, I've known you for a day and a half and we all nearly died and you're my best friend forever.
Yeah.
They do address that.
Okay.
And what that means, and is that realistic? But yeah, and some very dark elements in the ending. And yeah, the show ends in a way for a sequel, but I'm like, okay, I'm definitely kind of interested. It is a kid show. It's like, there's no getting around that, but it's one of those ones that is, as I would call it, challenging children a bit.
That's
like,
that's good.
Would
you say it's a shame it's CG though?
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
So some of the run cycles are not great. There's a bit where a Brachiosaurus is eating from the trees, and you just watch its neck move, and you can literally see the XY axis working against it, kind of thing.
Right.
Some of the sound effects I didn't care for. Like, they've changed the Indominus roar, but they haven't made it scarier. They've made it just sort of more normal. I always liked how it was like this weird shriek. There's a wonderful fan theory about one of the dinosaurs in this show being one of the dinosaurs from Fallen Kingdom. Rexy isn't in it at all, and I am slightly pissed about that. I complete makes sense why she's not in it given the timing, but god damn it. And Bumpy makes so little sense. Like, Bumpy looks like the humans look like, which means she doesn't look like one of the dinosaurs at all.
Yeah.
There's a big thing where she's asymmetrical horns, and Wu is like, not in my lab, and I'm just like, but Jurassic World, they had like regular breeding as well, so you must have loads of asymmetrical dinosaurs, weird like dinosaurs born like with busted legs and weird spines and things, because that's what's going on. And also there must be so much weird genetic inbreeding going on, because like, oh, those two Ankylosauruses had a baby. Are they from the same source? Is that having a baby with yourself? Is that like Arnold Rimmer in that episode of Red Dwarf, where he clones himself, but it's all like male and female versions of him, but it's just his face?
That's right.
And like, then Bumpy like is small enough to fit in your hand, and then what feels like a day or two later, they find her in the wild. She's about the size of a sheep.
Oh wow, okay, that's some growth.
And they say like, oh well, they have accelerated growth. They have accelerated growth. She's not magic. Like, accelerated growth has always been something in Jurassic, but no, please don't, no. Like, there must, like, the only way you can explain it, that it's actually been like 3 weeks. And she's at because like Ankylosaurs are pretty big, so she's not close to being fully grown, so okay. But also like, oh well, I'm going to throw her out into a herd of Ankylosauruses as a little baby. I'm just like, she's going to die.
She's fine.
She doesn't have a mummy. She's going to die.
She's fine.
But yeah, Bumpy is the most dangerous dinosaur in the entire show. Bumpy nearly gets them killed so many times.
Whoops.
Bumpy is a hindrance, and everyone but Ben, the character Ben, realizes it. Like, is
Ben meant to be the asshole?
Ben is the hypochondriac little skinny kid. But the great thing is, he's also going like, I love Bumpy. And everyone else is like, leave Bumpy behind. We're leaving Bumpy behind. I don't want Bumpy here. Bumpy is making life worse. Like, I wish they did that with the Porgs in Star Wars. Like, someone goes to the mascot character, you are a hindrance. But yeah, I'm curious to see where the second season is going to go. Could be very interesting, I think. If it keeps this tone. And yeah, moving forward, like, there will be legitimate hazards. Because how that show ends is not ending in a way where... Oh god.
God, what was that?
That was a hiccup and a burp.
That sounded like a black hole was created in the side of you. Good lord.
Like, I can't even repeat that one.
No.
But yeah, so I would say give it a go. The paleo reaction to it has been like, I hate the Jurassic World movies, ergo this is better. Which is just...
It's fair enough.
People take those movies far too seriously. Or people hate it because the children aren't going to die. Is something that, like, there have been a lot of people. To be fair,
I could relate to that.
There have been a remarkably large number of people who've gone like, I won't watch this if children don't die. And I'm just like, you want to see children get eaten?
Yes.
But
if the adults can get eaten, the kids can get eaten as well. Fair is fair. No special treatment. Would Primal? Primal do it.
Yeah. Well, no, Primal doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
Primal's approach. But that's like saying, like, oh, well, John Wick, it's got a bit more action in it than, like, Gargoyles.
Uraboshi's a little bit more edgy than your common director.
Yeah, he's a bit harder on the edges than that old DuckTales. But no, I would say give it a go. It's short as well, so it's not a big time frame. The last thing of note was ReZero episode 11.
I have it on like 36 or something, but that's because it's just going by the normal number count.
Because it's second season, but it's probably wise they do it like that because this is all one ongoing thing.
I think so, yeah.
Which, I was right. Fucking called it. People told me I was wrong. They were wrong.
Who told you were wrong? Because it seemed kind of obvious.
Anytime I talk about certain things, like, because I don't engage with anime culture a lot online, but occasionally I do. And I just got told, I don't know, it seems a bit obvious. That was basically the thing. I was just like, yeah, but it makes sense. Sometimes the obvious makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, I like it. I like this one a lot. It is twisted as fuck, and it's a Broken Amelia episode, which are never pleasant.
Sure.
Just when you push her far enough to break, it's usually something atrocious. But yeah, big character reveals. Big reveal about one character's knowledge of things. Subaru is very Subaru in it. I'm
really surprised he hasn't stopped caring about people dying at this point, because I would have. Like, the amount of times he's reset, I would have just been like, whatever. There's
an interesting line in this.
Yeah.
You're not grieving for them.
No.
You're outraged.
I noticed that as well.
And you have indignation. Like, you hate what I did, but you're not grieving.
Yeah. I think if it was me, I'd just be very, very just like, whatever. That's who I am.
We would have curled up into a ball by now. Rabbits! Fucking rabbits! Like I said, it's a me, Picora. How has that not been done yet?
It is disappointing, to be fair.
I would do it, but I can't be arsed. Some dark moments. Clearly, someone has plans for Subaru.
Sure. But to be fair, it seems like lots of people have plans for Subaru.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
No, she means well. She's fine. She's totally safe. Nothing bad will come of it.
Mm-hmm.
She's nice. She made him tea.
There's at least 4 people I can think of at the moment who have or want Subaru to do certain things.
And one of them is in a coma.
Yeah.
But does have plans for Subaru.
I didn't even think of Rem, to be fair.
She definitely has plans for Subaru. Just like,
Amelia.
I don't mind.
God damn it.
I genuinely, I don't mind Amelia. I actually like her, but the whole thing is, she's not Rem.
No.
That's the thing. Rem is fantastic. Amelia is just fine. But they are clearly wanting to do something with her. Mm-hmm. And if they wanted to use a couple of arcs to give Amelia actual character development, I really can't complain about that.
No, of course not.
And to be honest, like, again, it's like, oh, it's Amelia, but, you know, maybe go for the more likable one, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Interesting stuff with Ram in this one as well, just little quick bits, but, no, really, really hard to find fault ReZero as a show.
It's pretty good.
Remarkably hard.
The only issue is it took so long for the season to come out, and the fear is how long will it take for season 2 to come out? That's a complaint.
Yeah, they've confirmed that they've taken a core off and then it's coming back. But I don't know, because like I said, they're really not far off from catching up on the books.
I know,
like
Ryan needs to pull his finger out of his ass.
I'd say
needs
they're
to not
probably
do a berserk.
Season 3, I'd say, would have it all caught up.
I know.
And I don't want them to pull a Full Metal Alchemist season 1 and go off in their own direction.
No.
Then again, I also don't want them to do what a lot of ones do and just ending now.
Yeah.
Because I hate that. But yeah, ReZero, really do recommend it, especially at the moment. Not for the faint of heart, at all. Bad shit goes on. Also, real thing, really fascinated by Beatrice at the moment.
Same.
She's really interesting what they're doing with her. Just the concepts and everything else. We learned a bit about her origin. No. I also want to know what's going on with Puck. Or what's not going on with Puck, rather. Because clearly he had to pull some shit at the start of this season. And I want to know what it is. But anyway.
I wonder if that ties into the movie stuff.
Maybe. Because I've seen the Puck movie, or at least the Puck Amelia origin story. There's a hint there he shouldn't have formed that contract.
Oh, totally. I mean, we got to see the third of the Greed's creatures as well there, so...
yeah.
Big old snake thing.
Yeah. Which is... That's scary.
Sure. I mean, all of Greed's creatures are kind of scary.
Yeah, so is she.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, just apparently the snake is the worst one.
I mean, it's all relative, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I think they're all bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say it's all relative.
The rabbit, I suppose, on the outset seems the most normal. In a way, because it doesn't wipe your mind. It doesn't poison you or anything. It eats you.
Yeah, that's probably the worst one to kill you, though.
Yeah, but yeah, especially since there's it. Oh, we've got them all but one. There's about to be an infinite number of rabbits here.
Again.
Yay.
Yep.
But no, ReZero.
It's good.
Really, really recommend it. And yes, I am currently just going through the Nendroids and seeing which ones I wouldn't mind picking up for cheap. Also, found there's no Subaru Figma, unfortunately.
Not yet. They are getting through the Figmas at the moment.
But you can get a statue of him and Rem riding Patrice.
Ah, that's cute.
And a statue of Rem wearing Subaru's jacket and sniffing it.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll go with that. That's appropriate for
because it does no, she would.
Oh yeah, totally.
She'd live in it if she could.
Yeah.
But yeah. I will say, as someone, Rem, fantastic. I will say it is a testament to how well this show is written, that as much as I wish she was there, I don't feel her absence is killing the show in any way.
No.
It's just I would rather she was there, but my experience is not dulled by her not being there. It would just be made better if she was there.
Yeah. We focused a lot on her, and this is not her story, like we just mentioned. So it makes sense that she's not part of this, and it's okay for that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's really me for the week.
Hooray!
What about you?
I've done a few things. I've got a new armature for my microphone because the microphone stand I had, I was using it at an angle I shouldn't have been, and also the thing that I used to screw the microphone onto the stand was too small for it. So it was always in a precarious position. This is much better, much more sturdy. It actually holds my pop filter up better as well. The issue is my current table is not equipped really for it because it's got a clamp, and my desk has an angle to it, a curve to the edge, so it kind of prevents me being able to use it on there. So I've got another kind of wobbly stool thing which I've kind of attached it to, so I kind of worked around it. It's a bit more faff, but I'm much happier with how my microphone's a bit more secure than it was. It meant I had to go around looking for desks, and I can't find a desk at the right height. All of the computer desks are too high because obviously I sit on my couch when I'm on the computer. So it can't be 30 inches tall because otherwise I'm going to be looking up at the computer screen, and that's no fun.
That's the gamer way, Andy. That's the gamer way.
No, the gamer way is to have a computer desk and then to have a really expensive gamer chair as well. But I like my couch because I can put my feet up on it and go to sleep on it if I really want to as well. The lazy boy way. Other stuff I got in the week, so I got that. What was the other thing? Oh, I got Generation Select Rotorstorm as well because it was like on price on Amazon. It was like 20 quid. Well, £21 because 99p.
Still for Amazon.
Yeah, I know. It seems like they're getting in most of the exclusives just later. Like, if you just wait, the Generation Select does seem to pop up on Amazon, .co.uk at least. So, I might get the G2 Megatron that way. I might be inclined to get that. I haven't had the Rotorstorm mold, which was the Spinister. It's a good mold. It's interesting. It does really interesting transformation. The double leg cockpit is kind of a weird look, but it makes him more symmetrical and has a nice boot design. But I don't feel that the cockpit that goes underneath the helicopter pegs in like it says it kind of should. I'd like it to a bit more, but it's not a major issue. He's in nice colors. They're not perfectly accurate to the original toy. It's a perfectly good Rotorstorm. I am pleased with it, and it's not one of the G1 characters. So again, I'm fairly happy with that, and he's really tight. All of his joints are nice and tight, which is good. I think the Generation Select toys are going by the way of the Earthrise stuff, so all the joints are good and tidy, which I'm very happy about. I think that's all the things I got in the week. Like you, I watched ReZero. It's good. It's good. I also have been watching more Next Gen. That's been a lot of fun. I noticed that in the episode where Geordi gets mind controlled by the Romulans, it's the episode I think called Mindscape or Mind Control or something like that. It's the first hint of like the Tasha Yar daughter, and in HD the problem with that shot is you can see that the Romulan who they have in shadow is not whatever the actress's name was who played Tasha Yar. It's not her. Yeah. And she's not even got like a blonde wig on, which is like, oh no, you weren't meant to see that. I did say what the person that does mind break Geordi LaForge though is the senator from the DS9 episode where Bashir and Section 9 are trying to have the Romulan conference, if you remember that episode. It's the exact same actor who plays that Romulan. It's the same Romulan. I don't know if they're the same Romulan, but it's the same person in the same makeup. And I was like, okay. So that's always fun. It's always nice to see like Star Trek alumni kind of reprising roles here and there. And today I watched both episodes of Redemption, which is where Lussa and Betor make their appearance. Betor, the one who's constantly horny and wants all the men's dongs, which is kind of funny as she very slowly stroked Captain Picard's head, his lovely bald little dome, and then in part 2 was like stroking Worf and being like, we could mate, and you could raise Duras's son together. It's a fun episode. I like some people don't like the Klingon political episodes, but I enjoy them because I like seeing the Klingons, and it's got Gowron. And it's like I didn't realize how much of a piece of shit and constant thing the Romulans were. They're everywhere in like season 3 and 3 and 4. They're everywhere. They're like they pop up quite a lot. So that's kind of nice to see. But I am definitely enjoying going through some of the episodes. There are still the Deanna Troi episodes and the Crusher episodes, which I'm just skipping. Because Beverly Crusher's episodes always devolve into, I love this person. Ooh, something's gone wrong with my love life with this person. And Deanna Troy's is always, my powers are shit, or my powers are going too wacky, or I can feel everybody. It's like, oh, Deanna, god damn it. Neither of those two got very good episodes, I don't think. I can't think of any good ones for them. And then it's just been more streaming. I've just been doing like stream every day this week because I'll be doing one tonight. So I've been playing Void Bastards, I've been playing Earth Defense Force 5, and for the Fluff and Hammer Friday I've been doing a modded version of XCOM 2 where I've got them in Space Marine armor. So that's fun. I've been enjoying that a lot. I'm liking doing it. It's quite fun. Like I say, instead of just screaming into the void, screaming at a void where there might be the potential of someone watching, is a different experience, and I do enjoy it. So I'm glad I'm doing it. Again, sense of purpose, something to look forward to in the day, which is nice. And that's it. That's all of the fun things I think I've really been up to as I look around. Now I think that's it, Mr. Mikey. That's all of the fun bits as I quickly blow through it all. Ooh, I should have a Pimp Daddy Destro on the way to me. I should have got it this week, but I'm guessing the postal service was a little bit slow. So next week, hopefully tomorrow, in fact, I'll get the G.I. Joe classified Destro. Does he have an official name? The Pimp Daddy one, the one where he's a different
colour. No one cares what his official name is.
No, that's what I think. It's just the Pimp Daddy Destro. It's the only way people know him. Like, I don't know what his real name is. It's just that to me. So hopefully that should be here tomorrow, which will be good because I've been kind of gagging to get one of them. One of the figures from that line, so I'm looking forward to having a feel.
You must learn if they're shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Because once I handle one, I can go all in on the line, at least for the Cobra figures that I'm after, at least. I think, yeah, that'll do. We do have a message when I can head over to my things from Tentomon that says, I don't Bumpy is out of place in the Jurassic Park / World franchise with the Kenner toys. The Kenner toy packs, Inns, and Raptor hatchlings in both first book and movie. I hope this is making sense and you're processing this, Mikey.
I do. He doesn't think that is out of place. Bumpy is out of place. Seriously.
Oh.
Bumpy... Well, apart from the fact that Bumpy's design, like I said, the animation is in the same style as the humans, but really chibi. It's like Bumpy's got this really tiny tail and a really, like, the little tail club moves.
But the way I would describe it is Bumpy looks like a mascot character from Disney World.
Yeah, except that it's in a Jurassic thing where all the dinosaurs are done as high res as this budget will allow.
What do you think if like Jurassic Park, the next one, has Bumpy, they make him look chibi deliberately and it's part of the storyline where they've genetically engineered it to look chibi?
The idea of Bumpy was like, we're going to make a pet.
Yeah, we're going to make a really cute pet for people to really love instead of like a realistic one. That'd be creepy.
I mean, that has been the storyline in the books.
That's it. Okay.
They never pulled it off, but one of the ideas was we could make small ones as pets.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which they didn't do because they made a small elephant and it tried to kill people as a pet. It was an asshole. But it's just Bumpy. Bumpy has a lot of problems, and it's not just how Bumpy looks, but Bumpy's look takes me out because Bumpy looks like she's from a different show. And then like I said, Bumpy is the single most dangerous animal in the park.
Beware.
Like, Bumpy should have been shot and eaten as a food source. Like, if you're going to do,
just looks at Bumpy. Clever Bumpy. As it then breaks his kneecaps.
Yeah. Bumpy all grown up, like really roided out, full, like big muscle, like that pig from that Family Guy thing. Oink.
Oh God.
But I just kind of super wish, like, if they wanted a mascot character, they could have gone the chibi cute look because it's a baby, but either make her smaller or make her less super deformed. Yeah,
they went too far in with the chibi look is what you get. Yeah,
they're really clashing with the aesthetic of the dinos in the show.
That makes sense.
And yeah, if she was really small, you could, put her in your pocket when she started making a lot of noise.
Or eat her.
Yes, swallow her whole because she's going to get you swallowed whole.
Oh no, Vor Bumpy.
Like, there's just a bit where they trip over her, and they're just like, why are you
here? I'm here to cause problems.
It's like if the Porgs were malicious. That's what this is. Like, when they realize that Chewbacca tried to eat one of them, he's just like, well, gonna get you shot.
Oh, that would have been a really good scene. Is in Lost World where the little girl finds the little dinosaurs and there's only one of them, but then she finds loads of them. Just that, but with Porgs and Chewie.
They're in this as well, by the way.
Oh, those things. Okay.
Yeah.
Calamimus? Is that what they're called?
Compsognathus.
Oh, that's not what they're called in Jurassic Park.
There's actually, I will say, there's a very clever bit where someone says Brontosaurus, and they said, no, they don't have those here. And I'm just really pleased they didn't say, like, actually, that's a Patasaurus, and just like, because Brontosaurus is real again. They made Brontosaurus real.
Oh, they're real again?
Yeah. Brontosaurus is
man.
a real thing. So I thought that was very clever to just say, oh no, they just don't have those here. Common mistake.
You need to sort your shit out and decide what's real and what's not.
You don't get my feel, do you?
No, I don't.
It's been 200 years. We still don't have a fucking clue.
It's alive. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, it is alive. Oh, you sure? Yeah.
It's over there,
now.
is it? Maybe.
It's like poor Pluto. Is it a moon? Is it not a moon? Make up your mind.
According to Bill Divers, it's not a planet.
Yeah, I know, right? Poor Pluto. The message continues, and feel free to tell the people what happens in the book, Mikey. Anyway, the show itself was not bad. A 7 out of 10. Tentomon gives it.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair rating.
Captures the wonder and the horrors of JW, but is still an idiot plot. Like the movie it takes place during. Full of brats, dumbasses in the horror movie way. Still can't wait for the, in quotations, rest of the Netflix season. Also, I have found the most vulgar, professionally made cartoon I've seen yet, but I'll tell you that another time.
Is that the one on Netflix where everyone's trying to have sex? Something.
What?
There's a Netflix series that's basically about sex. People have told me to watch it, but I watched the trailer and I'm just like, this looks very Rick and Morty.
Oh, I think I know. I think I know what it is. Is it where like the hormones are giant monsters?
Yeah.
No, that looks awful. That looks fucking shit.
Apparently, it's funny, but
I doubt
Rick
it.
And Morty way, Lower Decks way.
I doubt it.
I wasn't too enthused.
No, I'm good.
Or
I saw the art style and I was like greatly insulted by the art style in itself.
Is Tentomon just saying like, I have porn? Would you like to watch porn?
No, because there's good porn out there.
True, there's very well scripted porn.
Well, I'm sure that's harder to find. That's like gold.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's there. You just have to dig.
Oh yeah,
dig through the porn.
Dig through the mire of just other porn.
You know that bit where you watch 5 minutes? Watch 6.
Oh man. For that golden moment where something like not
like an Oscar-worthy performance.
Oh man, that's what you want. That's what you're asking for. I don't think we have any other stuff. Let me just quickly go over to Moonbase because Christoph might have sent us a message. Oh, I do love this new this new format for Facebook. It's fantastic. Okay, Christoph did send us something. Well, I finally got around to listening to the Dave Wallace special, and man, what a blast from the past that was. That wasn't meant to sound sarcastic, but that's how it came out. That was me, and because I'm tired.
Man, how great it was to have his back.
I thought I should
Dave Wallace, fantastic human being.
I thought I should mention that before, like somebody goes, Andy.
He lives within punching distance. That's all I'm saying.
Hope you do more of it. That's what he said. Christoph said. But it got me thinking: could the lack of interest in comics among kids have anything to do with this site? And he links a thing called tapas.io. Do you want me to send you the link?
That sounds like an itch.io kind of thing.
I'll send you the link. I'd never heard of it myself.
Tapas.io moonshine. What?
Yeah, I'd never heard of this yet either.
Oh, bite-sized stories. Oh, it's online comics and stuff like that. Yeah, online, like, looks like self-publishing. I know they're like webtoons are still plowing away, but again, webtoons and things and stuff like this, they tend, like, this has a lot of yaoi. Just scrolling down here. A lot of yaoi. This is not aimed at kids. This is, again, aimed at the same people your comics are being aimed at, the teenagers.
I'll finish the rest of the statement before you go on. So
there's
the
so
link
much.
to...
There is an unreasonable amount of yaoi here. I'm like,
perfect amount for someone into it, though.
I actually think like I'm saying unreasonable in the context of if you like yaoi. Like just like there's a point. It's like anything. It's just a point. Just like okay, I only need like 10 of this, and you've given me 122.
That's the spice of life, Mikey. You only need to read it once, then you can get something new. Anyway, and DeviantArt that has tons of indie-made comics for free, and in quotations, real comics are like the easiest things to pirate for the little nerds who do care but can't afford them. So what do you think about that statement?
I definitely think the last thing is true. I definitely think, like, especially the way comic prices are going, there are more and more people who really want to support comics and just can't afford to. And the only way they can read them is pirating. Now, how you feel about that is very much up to you. Some people will stab you in the heart 14 times for saying yar, let alone actually doing it. Some people will, whatever. I'm neutral. I'm very neutral because people make their own choices. It's not my place to moralize about your choices. Whether your choices are to do something or not to do something anymore, and it's your place to moralize about mine. You know, we all do our best, and that's the end of it. So that's my way of saying, like, if you are pirating comics, I don't care. But I think certainly the teenage market, I think that's one of the reasons comics aren't doing as well in the money stakes anymore. But I would still think even that a big issue would be the fact that the media that children engage with is not focused around comics. It's TV, it's games, it's webtoons, static images, comic books. Like, DC's apparently going to try and be more family friendly next year. But yeah, like,
I don't think that's going to help really, because at least here in the UK, if back in the day, you could pick up comics just from your supermarket. You can't do that anymore. So the ease of being able to get comics is also a lot more restricted, at least here in the UK, than what it was.
Yeah. If it wasn't for online, there'd be no way to buy comics in Ireland, or at least not locally.
Yeah.
And I think the family-friendly thing is like every other time DC is going to change something because they're chasing the money, and they're saying, like, we want to make
more though, haven't they?
Yeah. But one thing I read was, like, they want to make more of a franchise brand standard, which says to me they want to do a Marvel MCU kind of thing. Unify all their concepts, because that's gone so well for Marvel, apart from their movies.
Yeah.
Because every other medium they have has suffered because of it. Look at that. Well, look at what happened to the Toons. I think it'll, like everything from DC, it'll last for a year or two and then get rebooted.
It always happens. It always happens. They love them reboots. And I would totally agree with like the comics. Like, when I don't think any of the comic fans who were around before the movies wanted the visual identity of the comics to be the movie designs, because I didn't. I was certainly put off of things when it started looking more and more like the movies. I was like, nope, this isn't what I want. You're losing the fantasy element or the fantasy design element of things to try and go for the more real look, and that's not what I like.
Yeah, because I remember, like, years ago, the first few aspects of this happened, like when X-Men did it, but back when they were like, they changed all the suits to be kind of dark and realistic.
Oh, yeah.
And how long did that last?
I can't remember. How long did it last?
Not very long, because no one liked it.
No.
Like,
I'm not sure.
Because there are things that work in TV that don't work in comics and vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Dave said this. Like, I didn't agree with all of Dave's points, but I think he made a good point. Like, it would be nice if there was something aimed at younger people in Transformers comics, just to give the option.
Sure.
But I just don't see a market for it.
Not today. No, I think it's too late for that.
Like, maybe 10 years time, I don't know, but right now I think Transformers comics would be better off aiming at the people they're aiming at and maybe writing better stories.
Oh, I would agree though.
There's so much yaoi on this site. I'm just scrolling through.
I think it'd be wise for Transformer comics to aim at both the market it's made and also aim at the people like Dave, which they're kind of doing with the 84 comic.
Yeah.
I think that it was a smart move to have that 84 comic, because it is very much aimed at those kind of more old school fans, and you can keep maybe the Brian Ruckley stuff, if it was a bit better, like we said, could it fill that other need, which it is for some people, but not everybody, and not everybody's going to be happy with a certain product, that's for sure. That's hard to replicate, but it's lost me. It's lost me again.
I wonder if any of this yaoi is any good.
I mean, if you want, Mikey, you can read it and let us know for next week.
That could be on the show.
We're not doing yaoi on From the Files, because I can't be asked to do that. I don't want to read yaoi. I have no interest.
Could be good. I read years ago a very entertaining yaoi story about a dragon that wanted to have sex with his butler, but the butler wasn't into it.
That's fine.
It was funny. It was very funny. I didn't like the dragon design, but it was very funny.
The most important thing, the dragon messed up. So, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and you can find me in the YouTube as well, I suppose, but I never use that. If you want to send us any feedback, your options are themoonbase2@gmail.com. You can send them over on Facebook, Twitter, Libsyn, Spotify, Andy CBC Bunker, Space,
wow.
presumably Patreon, Space.
Yes.
More space. Yeah. Andy, what about you?
Well, hang on. What about your paleontologist thing podcast?
Oh, yes, I have to get back to that at the moment. Like, it's on a bit of hold just because life suddenly kicked me in the shins.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fossil Fic, that is out there. I need to finish. Like, I'm halfway through the Age of Reptiles episode, and I just got called away by real life. And then when I go back to do it, I'm just like, I just want to watch something brainless. So check it out when you get a chance. It's up there on iTunes. But yeah, it will be updated. It'll just, you don't own me.
I was just trying to help you promote stuff.
You're right, but I don't follow your schedules and rules.
Damn.
Ooh, nutsack. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, the places Mikey mentioned as well. We're on YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, do $2 each month to get the extended version from the Files of Teletron 2. You also get it a week early. You also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in more detail. And this month it will be Mikey, Chris, Evangelist, and TJ Omega talking about Kamen Rider 01. That will be the thing. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com to get all that stuff as well. And if you want to watch me on Twitch, you can head over to twitch.com/cctfw. I try and stream from 11 o'clock UK evening time to about 1 or 2 o'clock UK evening time. So if you want to come and watch me play games and tell me and talk to me and all that jazz, you can do that there as well, if you like. So that's it, Mikey. We're done. Pooping is complete.
Yeah. And, one of these comics is called Gay Dinosaurs Doing It. What's more awkward than gay sex? Dinosaur Gay Sex by Josh and Joey.
Bye.
You are now leaving